Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to share with you how I make my summer rolls. They are fresh, they are light, they are vibrant, they are absolutely delicious. I made these a few times in my vlogs, and everybody wanted the recipe. Now, I don't make mine with a peanut dipping sauce because I tend to think that the peanut dipping sauce is too heavy for the light vegetable roll, so I just make a light dressing to coat everything in, and I think it's just perfect. For me, peanut dipping sauce goes with grilled chicken satay, which is another video for another day. But today we're gonna make some really easy and fun summer rolls. You're gonna start off with some fresh vegetables. I've got cucumbers and some bell peppers that I've cut into like little long strips. I've got chopped mint and cilantro, shredded carrots, some green onions. I also have some cooked rice noodles, thin rice noodles that I've drained well. I'll talk about these in a minute. Grated ginger and garlic, some rice vinegar. I've got some soy sauce, which you could use fish sauce, vegetable oil or canola oil, which is what I'm using, a pinch of sugar, and some lime juice. And you also need some rice paper, which is back there. We'll need them in just a few minutes, but we're gonna get everything started first. I did all my prep ahead of time, otherwise we'd be here prepping together, which I wanted to save on time. What I did here is I just took some rice noodles and I cooked them according to package instructions. These are just thin rice noodles that I boiled in boiling water for about 3 minutes, and then I drained them and I rinsed them under cold water and squeezed out any of the excess liquid. And then here I just prepped all my veggies. You can use any veggies you like. You can use snow peas in this. You could use anything that you would like. These are just happen to be my favorite combination. So we're gonna get right to it. In my little jug there, a little measuring cup, I'm gonna add in my rice vinegar. I'm gonna add in my grated ginger and my garlic. This is like the same dressing I use for my soba noodle salad. I just absolutely love this dressing. You can use it as a dressing or you could use it as a dipping sauce, and it is just so good. It's very flavorful yet very bright, and it's not too heavy, which I prefer, and that's just what I like. I'm also going to add a squeeze of lime. I want about a tablespoon of lime juice in here, which is going to end up being this whole lime because these limes are just not that juicy. And I did pop them in the microwave for a few seconds too. But, you know, sometimes you get some citrus that is just not as juicy as you'd like it to be, but that is quite all right. I'm going to add my cooked rice noodles to my big bowl, whisk together my dressing. I'm going to pour this over. And then I'm just going to take 2 big wooden forks or regular forks, whatever you got, and mix everything together to combine. And then I'm going to let this sit for about 10 minutes just so that the flavors can marry and get to know each other and soak up into the rice noodles. And you can see how colorful and beautiful. You can smell the dressing immediately, but you can see that it's not so much dressing that it's pulling up at the bottom of the bowl, because I want these to be really light, and I don't want to say healthy, but I want them to be light and crisp and perfect for a warm summer day, whether it's lunch or dinner, which I tend to make these a lot for lunch, and I like to keep them on hand in the fridge covered. And what I do when I cover these is I put them in a tight container. But then right before I put the lid on the container, I take a wet piece of paper towel or a damp piece of paper towel and put it on top of it so it keeps them from going really dry. I'm going to set that aside for a few minutes, clean up, and then we'll get going on wrapping them up. That is gorgeous, and I have tasted this, and you can really taste that the dressing has seeped into the noodles really well, so it's so good. Now what I have here is a shallow bowl that I filled with hot water, and I've got my rice paper sheets here, and then I have a cutting board, and on top of the cutting board I have a damp lint-free kitchen towel. Make sure your kitchen towel is clean, and I just ran it under warm water and then wring out all the excess water, because what this does is it helps. If I were to just put this directly on my cutting board, it sticks, and somehow it doesn't stick, and it really helps when you do it on top of a damp kitchen towel. So this is how easy this is. You take your rice paper and you dip it in water, and I just flip it around, and then once it starts to get really soft and feels almost jelly-like, then it's done. That is done. You can see it gets really translucent, and then you lay it flat. Make sure that you kind of flatten this out because it is very fragile. And then all you do is you take some of your filling and the rice noodles will tear as you do this, and that's fine. You take some of those. You can add more rice noodles rather than fewer. You know, the world is your pickle here. And then I just take my finger and I rinse it right in the hot water. It does not matter. It's perfectly fine. And then you take this and you wrap it like you would, well, I do it this way anyway, like I would a burrito. And then you just wrap nice and tight, just like so, and place that on a platter. Now, I'm not perfect at it. By no means am I a professional at this. This is just what works for me. And I don't cut them until I need to, until we are ready to serve. So I'm just going to keep on rolling until I'm pretty much all done. I ended up getting around 10 summer rolls out of my mixture. Now this is going to vary depending on how much you fill them. You can end up with more if you fill them not as generous as I did, or you can, I mean, it's completely up to you. The world is your pickle, my friend. Now you can serve these as is, which is what I do, or you can make a little bit more of the dressing that we tossed everything in. You can make a bit more of it and use that as a dipping sauce. Maybe put a nice chili in there, really finely chopped. I think these are perfectly fine as is. I'm going to cut into it now so that you can see what they look like. And that is perfect for me. If you do watch our vlogs, then you'll know I'm quite the summer roll thief. If you know what I'm talking about, 2 thumbs up for you. These are easy and simple, but I love them. Just lovely. Really fresh, really crunchy, loads of really lovely flavor from the dressing. Everything just kind of complements each other really, really well. That's really about it. LauraInTheKitchen.com will have everything written for you, the full recipe. I hope you've enjoyed spending time with me, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. The ingredients we'll need are some veggies. I've got some bell peppers, some cucumbers, shredded carrots, some chopped up green onions, and I've got some, I'm sorry, that's not basil. It's not basil, it is mint. You could use basil, but it's not. Sorry.